In your time on this fantastic planet, you've probably heard a million fitness influencers, YouTubers, and Instagrammers who are ironically already in unbelievably good shape tell you that calories in versus calories out is bullshit. And let's be honest, you're probably sick to death of hearing from us lot telling you what to do. And their reasoning is usually nutrient density, bioavailability, hormones, and digestion, which from a biological standpoint is all very valid. That stuff does matter, it's important, and we should definitely educate people on it. But here's where I think that conversation misses the point. Ultimately, whether they like it or not, energy balance is still part of the puzzle. And without considering it, we're only giving people half the picture. Because one thing we can't argue on is this: you can overeat any food, no matter how bioavailable it is, no matter how nutrient dense it is. And if you do that for a sustained period of time, you will gain weight. That doesn't just suddenly disappear because the food came from the ground or had a nice label on it. The problem is social media. And if you'd like a gentle reminder of how to remind yourself of the importance of energy balance, use this cup of me as a child as an example. Online, we're exposed to a tiny test pool of people, and most of the people pushing the calories don't matter message are already in ridiculous shape. And I'll go one step further. Because of the nature of social media, we're often seeing outliers genetically, hormonally, pharmacologically, if you know what I mean. And applying their experience to the average person gives a skewed perspective. And that's where this becomes dangerous from an educational standpoint, because it's very easy to push an ideology when the results came to you effortlessly. But everyone comes from a completely different place. Someone who's been training for 10 to 15 years, has great genetics, has minimal lifestyle stress, does not have the same entry point as someone who is overweight, time poor, stressed, juggling work, relationships, kids, yada, yada, yada. Yet the advice is often delivered as if they should. I've recently seen a lot of content online claiming that calories don't matter and that people who focus on energy balance are arrogant. And honestly, I find that ironic, because when advice is delivered without context, especially from clear outliers, that can be its own form of arrogance, because they assume that everyone should already be where they are now. That completely ignores context, it ignores lifestyle, it ignores timing, and it ignores the fact that some people are only just starting to care about their health, which to you might sound insane, but you have absolutely no idea what someone's circumstances are and where they've started. So who are you to judge? Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that food quality doesn't matter. It absolutely does. Understanding digestion, hormones, fiber, micronutrients, and how food impacts satiety and habits is massively important. But discarding energy balance entirely is not education. It's just replacing one oversimplification with another. If we're going to give people a blueprint for success, that blueprint needs to be complete. And part of that blueprint is understanding that yes, there are better food choices. Yes, sometimes you eat pizza, sometimes you eat ice cream, sometimes life happens, and that's completely normal. Life would be unbelievably sterile if everything we did was perfect. And as most people eventually learn, life itself is not perfect, and it never will be. The idea that your life should be endlessly optimized is just unrealistic. I'll say this bluntly, but a lot of the people that are telling you to over-optimize your life are lacking in some area themselves. That's not an attack, it's just reality. So do yourself a favor and don't compare yourself to them. Your progress is not dictated by where someone else thinks you should be. It's about where you started and how far you've come. Context matters, entry point matters, and energy balance still matters. Think about that. Stay humble.